So you're ready to get pregnant on purpose? That's so exciting. Now, before you go chugging down all the fertility teas and taking the fertility supplements, I need you to nail down these basics first if you want to fast track this whole process. Hey, I'm Whitney, fertility dietitian and coach, and I help busy women get out of the Google spiral and get pregnant. I've helped hundreds of women figure out their fertility so they can grow the family of their dreams. Now, before we get into the basics, if you are truly serious about getting pregnant this year, go ahead and check out the link below and take the Find Your Fertile Path quiz. I'm gonna give you your own personalized fertility quick start plan so you can focus on the fun of baby making and not just the science. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into the basics. Quick disclaimer, as always, these videos are meant for educational purposes only and not meant to replace the medical advice from your provider. So the first thing that I want you to do if you are ready to conceive is start tracking your cycle and getting to know your body. Fertility is a pretty complex thing, and your cycle is going to be different than everyone else's cycle, which is a lot different than we were led to believe in our high school sex ed class. Most women do not have that standard, normal 28-day cycle. In fact, most women do not. Only 13% of women ovulate on cycle day 14, which goes along pretty well with that 28-day cycle. A very, very small percentage of women actually do that. And so for most of us, tracking when we ovulate is gonna be very important, because if you're just using one of those standard apps you can download off the App Store, they're probably gonna use an algorithm based on that 28-day cycle. And if you don't have a 28-day cycle, that ain't gonna work. And the chances of you missing your fertile window altogether are pretty high. I strongly suggest learning what your fertile signs are and learning exactly when you ovulate so that you're not wasting months trying to figure it out and, for lack of a better, stabbing in the dark. So let's talk about what I look for to track your cycle. Now that you know that it's important, let's talk about my favorite methods to do that. So I use a double method to track cycles. I like to use a system to predict ovulation and then another system to confirm ovulation. So to predict ovulation, I prefer looking at what your cervical fluid is telling us. So normally cervical fluid, or what's in your underwear, is gonna be more of like a white, lotiony, creamy consistency. And you're gonna notice as you near ovulation, it's gonna change into more of a clear, raw egg white consistency. This indicates that you've entered your fertile window and it is time to try to get pregnant. Now, that's a quick overview of what cervical fluid is. If you want to deep dive into what it is, why it's important, and how to get more of it, especially if you're not noticing any changes in your cervical fluid nearing ovulation, you're definitely gonna want to check out my previous video where I did a deep dive on all things cervical fluid, and it's gonna help guide you in that. Now, to confirm ovulation, I like to use a method called basal body temping. And this is measuring your basal body temperature for shifts that occur after ovulation. After you ovulate, your body starts producing something called progesterone, and progesterone raises your basal body temperature very minimally, about a half to a full degree Fahrenheit. And this is why it's really important to use an actual basal body thermometer rather than a normal thermometer, because it won't be accurate enough to test. You want to use a BBT or a basal body thermometer when you're using this method, and you want to take your temperature daily, and then you can monitor for that slight shift that happens after ovulation. If you notice my hands go like this, because that's exactly what happens with your temperatures. It turns into more of a biphasic pattern. But this information can help us confirm whether you ovulated. It can tell us how strong you ovulated, and it can also tell us how long your luteal phase is. The luteal phase of your cycle is from when you ovulate until you start your period. And it's really important to monitor how long that phase is, because you need at least an 11-day luteal phase to conceive in order for the sperm to meet the egg. And so when we have that data, we can identify if your luteal phase is long enough, if there are any ovulatory issues we need to address, and any other problem areas that you might want to look at before you conceive. I'd love to know in the comments, are you tracking your cycle right now? If you are, what method are you using? I'd love to chat about it. So just to summarize, we talked about why it's important to get to know your body and track your cycles, my favorite methods for tracking, and my third recommendation that I want you to start today is to act as though you are already pregnant. Do not wait until you're pregnant to take care of your body, getting adequate sleep, taking a solid prenatal vitamin, making sure that you're setting healthy boundaries, avoiding really inflammatory foods, trying to eat more fruits and vegetables. These simple habits are things that I want you to start doing as soon as you're ready to get pregnant. I'd like it if you do it all the time, but I know not all of us are going to prioritize our health that way. A lot of women wait until they're pregnant to really take care of their bodies, take care of their brains, make a healthy environment for themselves. I want you to do these things already. Act as though you are already pregnant. I'm not telling you to go on like Instagram and TikTok and do a pregnancy announcement or anything, but the small little habits of taking care of yourself can truly improve your overall hormonal function. It can help improve your ovulation. It can help improve your fertile mucus production. It can help improve your thyroid function, your adrenal function, all of the things that are important systems in order for you to become pregnant. I want you to start taking care of yourself right now, after this video. Now that you know the basics, definitely be sure to head to the links below, take the Find Your Fertile Path quiz, and check out my favorites page where I have all of my favorite prenatals, my cycle tracking devices, and household products for you to get started. That's all for today. If you are a fellow food and fertility nerd, I would love it if you comment below and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.